IGP's office or the police? What are your thoughts on that? Have you made your details available?
We responded to the IGP that he's the one who should make available the names of police officers who are going to be deployed, all of them, and they should provide their details, their ranks, and let us know who may be armed or unarmed amongst them, because this is completely a civil affair. There's no reason to collect the names of organizers. If you want to collect the names of the organizers of these protests, you will need the capacity to collect over 200 million names. So we've replied to him, and our lawyers are going to communicate this to him this morning in Nigeria. That's the backstory. That's not the issue. The issue is that as a chief police chief, the most top police chief in Nigeria, his duty is simple: go to work. Asking people to provide ID cards or provide evidence that they are entitled, or they're entitled to protest is not part of his job, and we're not going to waste our time on that, because this is going ahead in a few hours. The countdown is 3 days to the time.
All right. But the police IG, through the spokesperson to the force, Muyiwa Adejobi, says this is standard procedure. It's standard procedure everywhere in the world that police will want to know who the leaders of the protests are, who the organizers of what their aims are, the routes they want to pass through and all that. Isn't that standard procedure? In order for proper communication, he says.
It is not standard procedure. It is when you are asking to use public facilities that you are required to provide your contact. And that was what the TIB in Abuja did by writing the Minister of FCT, WIKE, that they want to use the Eagle Square. Those ones have contacts. So if the IG is interested in that contact, he should contact the minister. But the contact is public information already. But what he's requesting for is bizarre. It's burdensome request that's just diversionary in our view. And we've responded that nobody's submitting any list to you. Nobody is going to give you contacts as to why they are protesting.
Did you provide the routes? Did you provide names, contacts? In case police needs to reach anybody to find out some more.
Anybody that's written to the police commissioner in the state has provided their contact. When it comes to routes, we are not in a geography class here. People are engaging in protests.
But you have to give the police maybe where they can come and provide the protection for you. They have to come somewhere. They can.
That's why they should come. That's why they should contact those who wrote letters to them directly to say, in the case of Abuja, the venue has been provided as the Eagle Square. Are you telling me that the IG of police doesn't know where the Eagle Square is located?
Let's move over to the FCT. You're aware of what the minister of the FCT has said. You watched the video. We've all seen it. He has said that he hasn't received any letter from Take It Back or from you, but we didn't mention it. I don't think he did, requesting the use of Eagle Square. Can you clarify this? Have you written to the FCT minister? Did he acknowledge the receipt of the letter?
If he has not received the letter, how did he know that a letter was written to him?
It was probably be asked, at that town hall.
No, he said it in the video that he has sent the letter and that he's just waiting for it to be submitted to him. And we think that it's been submitted to him, but because of their own internal bureaucracy and inefficiencies, he has not received it. But let me educate him here. In one breath, he said, there's not going to be protest in Abuja. In another breath, he said, I've not received the letter for protest. Which one should we believe? I think he's just playing with semantics. WIKE is a lawyer. He knows that you can be served information in more than one way. And this way, he could have accepted it by publication, because the letter is all over the place.
No, but he said you don't write to the FCT minister through social media.
No, it's not true. He cannot dictate to us how we write to him, because he's our servant. He's supposed to serve the Nigerian people. But in this case, I have also been assured that he'll get the letter first thing this morning in Abuja. You saw yesterday Tinubu's daughter at the Eagle Square, and I can guarantee you that she didn't write any letter to use the Eagle Square. They just went there, gave her the keys, she opened the place, and she used it. The Eagle Square is Nigeria's people's property. WIKE is not the landlord. He should get that right.
But there are ways. Some would say there are ways.
Custodian.
He said
it's a custodian.
Yeah.
It's a custodian of access, and we have gone through the process for letting him understand that this is what needs to be done. The reason we wrote to him was because there are some alterations that the organizers are asking should be done to the Eagle Square, like removing the iron mesh that separates the Eagle Square from the Aso Rock Villa to avoid stampede on injuries.
Oh wow!
And
really?
Yes, because yes.
Okay.
So that is part of the reason why he was given enough notice. That mesh that is between the Eagle Square and the Presidential Villa should be removed, because the protesters would like to visit the Aso Rock Villa in large numbers.
That's interesting. But he was asking. He said that there are ways of going about this thing. For instance, I was asking, have you paid has a receipt been given to you for the use of that? So has Take It Back paid for the use of that venue? Has the receipt been given to you?
We are not engaging in a musical concert. We are not asking to pay rent. We are asking that as a custodian of the venue, the Nigerian people want to use one of their assets and facilities to facilitate and organize, the protests to deal with urgent socio-political issues affecting the Nigerian people. That's all I was asked for. So if he refuses to approve of it because you cannot pay for it, then he doesn't understand what this is all about. So you cannot improvise people.
Yeah, you want to use the equal score without paying for it?
No, nobody's paying for it. We're talking about unemployed youths here. We're talking about poverty. People want to. We just want to use the place for convergence, okay? Because this is supposed to last for 10 days at first, all right? And we don't know subsequently it might be. That's why we're giving advanced information. We want him to turn on the electricity for 24 hours. Make sure water is.
But I think what he's saying is it's not free. You have to pay. He's saying you have to pay.
Nobody is going to pay to use his father's living room to watch TV or to organize. So we own the Eagle Square. We're not going to pay. And we're talking about young people who have no money to pay you. Like I said, this is not a musical concert. We're not having a wedding there. It's just we're having a festival of the oppressed at the place.
What happens when you turn up there and there's another event that is going on there? Maybe they paid for it and he approved it and all, but what will you do?
Well, how about we wait until that happens? But I don't imagine that there will be any event starting from August 1st, 2024 in Abuja at Eagle Square.
End bad governance. Is it end hunger? What is the protest called? I've seen about 3 hashtags. Mr. Showe.
The umbrella for all the calls in Nigeria is end bad governance.
Okay.
Now, you know that end bad governance started as an umbrella battle cry since 2020. During the NSAS. So, but ours has been around beyond that. That's Days of Rage. Days of Rage was how, revolutionary was how we organized 2019 August revolt in Nigeria that led to my arrest. So all of this is to accommodate everybody. If you are ending hunger, bad governance is the cause of hunger. If you are ending unemployment, bad governance is the cause of unemployment. If you are ending school fees for schools that don't deliver, services, bad governance is the reason. Bad governance is the reason you have bad roads. Bad governance is the reason, as we speak, that you don't have some of your telco lines working.
How do you respond to allegations, or should I say suspicion, that, or let me say concerns, that the protests will turn violent? I mean, you don't want to pay, you're saying you're not going to pay for the use of Eagle Square. You're saying that you may march into Aso Rock. You are saying Days of Rage. There's some concern that the protests may turn violent and destabilize the country. What are your thoughts, or what's your reaction to that?
So this is part of what I'd hate to talk about on media platforms. This constant accusation or allegation that somehow protests that are planned and have had history of peaceful and well-organized behaviors are going to turn violent. But this is the blackmail that's been subsisting since I was born. Since when I was in the university, it's saying, if you protest, it's going to turn violent. And every time there's a protest, it is never the protesters who turn violent. It's the government who turn it into violence so that they can use it to suppress people. And they have done it so well that cognitively, a lot of people don't even understand that they're being programmed to believe that something that is legit is going to become illegitimate. So this is their own way of delegitimizing a well-organized idea to bring them to listen to the people. As I mentioned yesterday, protest is also a form of dialogue. Except that peaceful protests, as we are going to have it, and whether they like it or not, or a revolt of this nature, is the dialogue with people who are tone deaf. The NSAS protest, which was one of the biggest in Nigeria's history, was not violent until the Nigerian government introduced violence. First, by shuffling around thugs around the country. We saw them in SUVs in Abuja. They brought them in Lagos with Lagos colored public transportation buses. You saw people with machetes. As we speak, they are deploying cultists across the country. They are deploying police. They are deploying soldiers so that they can introduce violence. they can perpetrate violence against all these young people who just want their voices to be heard and heard loud and clear. But we've gone beyond that now. This is going ahead, and nobody is worried about the subtle blackmail about, oh, this is going to be violent.
But when we hear the word rage, one may say that connotes violence. Rage. Rage isn't a good word, is it?
The rage is emotional response to oppression. When people say, I'm enraged by the way I'm being governed, what is wrong with that? And at any rate, if you're not enraged, why are you protesting in the first place? So we're not saying, if we're to be that, we're saying we're going to war, then maybe you can start ascribing interpretation to it. But rage is completely legit. I'm enraged. I'm enraged at the way my country's been governed. And the days of rage, as you saw, it was used recently in Kenya. In fact, the Kenyans borrowed that hashtag from our 2019 revolutionary protest. So, what else do you want me to tell you? There's nothing wrong with being enraged with my officers.
All right. How exactly does Take It Back movement and affiliated organizations, how do you intend to end bad government? Because the only known and acceptable way to end any government in Nigeria is every 4 years through the ballot box. The other ways are through regime change, either through the muzzle of a gun or through unseating, violently unseating a government, toppling of a government. So how exactly do you intend to end bad government? Some may ask.
If
on the top of the government,
if what you're saying were to be true, then I don't think the government themselves will be saying that, oh, this is legit. They are saying that this is legit.
So, but you're saying you want to end the government. How do you intend to end bad government?
It's an end bad governance.
Okay.
How's that difficult to understand? That people want to end people engaging in corruption, people who are incapacitated, who are running the country, people who are engaging in malfeasance. How's that a problem? If you then say that, well, it means that people who are operating these bad things are going to run, what is wrong with that?
So what's the end game? I mean, how will you end? At what point will you get to?
The end game is to end a regime of corruption that has perpetrated crimes against Nigerian people, have introduced poverty, unemployment, insecurity, the people that made it impossible for you to have a salary that can take you home after you work for 30 days. And they themselves are buying presidential jets at $100 million that's going to be delivered in weeks from now. The people who are earning 25 million naira per month without doing anything at the National Assembly, who have just gone now on 7 weeks break. The people who embezzle monies that they collect for contracts, who don't implement them. The people who have made the doctors to leave the entire country to go and work in other countries.
But
the people
what I'd like to know, Mr. Shore, is how do you intend
citizens or second-class citizens in your own country?
How do you intend to end this bad government? Is it by going to
the people are going to march on bad governance starting from August 1st. Is that too difficult to understand?